Hey everybody, this is Dean and welcome to Photo Blue. Today I thought I'd show you how to colorize a photograph using GIMP. Now whether you're trying to colorize a black and white photograph or whether you're trying to restore an old color photograph that's faded where you can change that to black and white and then recolorize it, or whether you want to colorize a photograph for effect or colorize portions of a photo, this is the way you can do it using GIMP. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to go over to these palettes right over here. So this little icon right here, we have a bunch of choices of colors that we can use. And I'm going to pick browns right here just because it's an easy way to find some skin tones. You can also do a customized color depending on what you want. But this is the fastest way for our demonstration purposes. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a layer by going over to Layer, New Layer, and go OK. Now you see here is Mode, and the mode is LCH Color. That should be like the default mode it actually puts these layers in. This is the mode you want to use. You can use a couple different modes, and I'll show you. The mode basically has to do with the way the layer reacts with the base photograph beneath it. So if we use this particular mode, we can go up here. We've already selected our color right here. Okay, we're going to select that color, and we're going to go up here to this brush, and we can actually change the size of the brush right here if we wish to. That might be a little big, but to start off with, we'll use this. So I'm going to just color this section of the photograph real quick with this particular mode. Now I want to show you the difference between modes. This particular mode has some transparency to it. So if we put this on normal mode, like the base mode is normal mode, if we switch this to normal mode right up here, if we switch this to normal mode, you see that there's no opacity to it. And so you can't see the photograph underneath it. It's just this color that we've put on top of it. But the other thing you could do is you could use this mode and you could change the opacity and bring it down so that the photo shows through it to the degree that you wish it to. So that's another way that you can colorize. That's usually a similar way to that's used for like Photoshop, where you use masks and you use a transparent or semi-transparent color over top of the base photo. So we're going to go back now and re-switch this, and we're going to put it back on LC color, and we're going to bring up the opacity again. Now we can use the opacity in this to also adjust it so the tone isn't quite as thick, and it depends on what tone we pick and such. But I'm going to put the opacity all the way up for now for while we're coloring it in. And you can change the size of the brush for areas where you need a little bit more detail. And you can also magnify the photograph so that you can see areas better where you need more detail. The brush here I'm using is kind of big. And so let's actually reduce the brush size a little bit here. And so we can bring in the finer detail. We're going to hit the plus key to bring this up, magnify the image a little bit. And you can always go back and retouch this up if you make a mistake. Like I said, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. I'm going to just give you an idea of how it works. And that's pretty close to what we would want for this, and we can kind of rough it out more or less at first, and then go back to each layer and kind of fix it. We can also, once again, change the opacity level to wherever we like it, but we're going to keep it up at the higher opacity when we're doing this, just to make it a little easier to see what we're doing. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put another new layer in. Once again, we're using LCH color for this layer, and this layer, we'll select this, and we're going to go in and we're going to use a darker reddish brown maybe for the lips, and we could use any color that we want for that, but we'll use this to start. Let's make the size of the brush just slightly smaller. So this looks pretty good. And because it's a separate layer, we don't really have to worry that much about messing up the skin. And also we can erase it much easier. So we're going to go around that. Alright, so we have the flesh tone or the skin tone, and we have the lip tone on here. And so maybe we want to add some color to the eyes. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back and we're going to create another new layer. And we're going to use this layer for the eyes. What you may want to do is you may want to rename each of these layers so you remember what they're for. So this is going to be for the skin, this is going to be for the lips, and this is going to be for the eyes right here. And so on the last level we're going to have to change what palette we're using, and let's go here to Caribbean Blues and pick a color. Let's just go with this color right here. And once again, we're going to take the brush, but we need to resize it down a little bit. Also, you're going to go zoom in here a little bit on the image so we can see the eyes better. And so then we're going to take the opacity of this layer, and I'm gonna mess with that a little bit to make it look a little more natural. All right, so there we have the final. As I said, I didn't go into too much trouble as far as going around the edges and fixing all the imperfections, but this gives you a good idea of how the process works. And so if we can take away each one of these layers so that you can see what it looks like. So if we put them on back out of order, so if we put the lips on, they would look like that, and if we put the eyes on, they would look like that, and back with the skin. So that's what the final colorized image would look like. It gives you an idea of what you can do with GIMP as far as colorizing an image. So that's how you colorize a photo using GIMP. I'm Dean, and this has been Photo Blue, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like.